home stretch here. What's kind of the vibe, the feel of the team heading into big series this weekend, last 2 series of the season?
Yeah, I think same vibe we've had the whole season. I think you know, not having a Tuesday game, getting through exams, guys were pretty beat up over the last. You know, that was our first really hot and humid weekend. So just trying to get them caught up on their bodies and get ready for the stretch run. I think they're excited to be able to play baseball without having to go to school, which is always great for a college player.
I think I know y'all have a lot of hitting talent on this team, but how have you seen the guys adapt and really embrace what Michael's brought and what he's been able to bring to the program?
Well, you know, I think you know, pitchers are like kickers and hitters are, you know, they're like quarterbacks. They need somebody with them all the time, and somebody other than the head coach. And Michael has pedigree both as a player and as a coach, and he's done a really nice job of gaining their trust, but also being able to hold them accountable. You know, it's one thing to gain trust, especially as a young coach. The players are always going to want to identify and gravitate towards the younger guy, but he also holds them accountable to their routines every day, and he's incredibly talented, and I think he's bought into the concept, or I know he's bought into the concept that offense is not just about hitting. Hitting is a part of an offense, and so I don't claim to be, you know, a hitting guy. I do run the offense, but he, myself, and Nolan Kane specifically they've all done a great job.
What is it about Mississippi State that is a cause of concern and makes them a team that could take 2 or 3?
Yeah, they scare me to death. Yeah, they scare us to death because, or scare me to death because you got the national champion that has 6 of their 9 position player starters back. They're starting they've had some consistent starting pitchers. They've obviously been banged up as everybody else has with injuries, but you know they know how to win. They just won a national title, and so we're going to have to be more desperate to win than they are because they're fighting for their life for the NCAA tournament, and so are we, frankly. So I think all bets are off when you play these games.
Going back to question 2, how much is the role of hitting coach or offensive coach sports psychologist as much as it is, you know, mechanics?
Yeah, it's more so. It's more sports psychologist than it is mechanics. That's for sure. Just keeping guys confident, keeping them, you know, trusting their daily routine, knowing that, you know, you have to really buy into process over results, because you can take a great swing and be out. You can take a bad swing and get a base hit. So Michael's done an awesome job of that. He's really been a, you know, for me, it's just been a pleasure because he's in my head coaching career. I've never really hired somebody that I didn't know that well, and he's the first one, and it's been awesome. So we're glad to have him here, and we're going to have to work hard to keep him here, to be honest with you.
Coach, you mentioned being able to get rested up this week without a midweek. So what adjustments have you made to the practice schedule and routine to allow the guys to get healthier and also focus their brains on baseball full time now that classes are?
Yeah, we gave them, you know, Monday 1 full day of nothing. Tuesday was just a lift and a super light workout in the batting cages only. Yesterday we had a little bit more normal practice, but we didn't hit on the field. Today we'll you know, have a morning practice, so it gives them a longer recovery time between now and the game tomorrow night. And today will be the first time we hit on the field since Sunday, and we won't be out here very long. In my college career, this is the first I've ever had guys take pregame batting practice in shorts. But this is a different kind of humid down here, even compared to Fort Worth. And I coached at Tulane for 8 years, so starting to feel like New Orleans a little bit this time of year. So I'm having to adjust as a coach and come in, get the work we need to get, and then get off the field and save every ounce of energy for the games themselves, especially for the guys that play all the time, and especially for the catchers. You know, those are the guys that really get beat up.
So how has last weekend the heat and humidity really driven home the importance of being prepared for what you're going to see this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of it. Obviously, every postseason game. 2016, I remember being in this dugout as the visiting team coach, playing the Super Regional, and the home plate umpire by the second inning had sweat through his entire uniform and the ball bag. So he couldn't, all the balls, he kept throwing the balls back. We were in charge of the balls that game, and he kept throwing brand new balls back, and they were completely waterlogged. So when a ball went out, we would have to throw one from the dugout during the Super Regional to him, so there would be a dry baseball. I know that's how hot and humid it can get. And so yeah, we have to be prepared for that. Kids have to, most of that's on the player to be hydrated and be ready to go when they get here. And then it's my job to navigate the schedule so that their bodies are ready to go.
So how can you use that to your advantage?
What's that?
I said, how can you use that to your advantage then in regionals or perhaps super or something like that as well?
Well, you're assuming we're going to be in a regional or super regional, but it depends on who you're playing. But playing this weekend, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, they're obviously used to that kind of weather. But in a regional or super regional, you just understand that the hay's in the barn for the most part. In terms of mechanics or taking batting practice, all that stuff is kind of overrated. I think everybody's learned, even in the big leagues. Very, very few teams take batting practice on the field anymore. And so if they do it super early in the day, not do it a little bit, and then get back in and get ready for the game. So you'll see us do that a lot.
What is the reasoning behind the cancellation, I guess, of the Incarnate Word game on Tuesday?
Yeah, it's I'm not going to hide from it. I think when the NCAA committee puts such an emphasis on RPI and different things, and then conference games matter so much, when you get to this time of year, you have to manage that. And I don't like canceling the game. There's a lot about canceling a game that can hurt you because you need to play, you need to develop pitching. But given where we are in the season, Coach Schatzberger coached for me he was one of our coaches on the 2010 World Series team, and for where they are and what they're trying to do with their schedule, it just honestly didn't make sense to play the game. And part of me really hates it, but at the same time, I owe it to my job is to take care of the A&M baseball program and put us in the best possible position to be successful, in a postseason if there is one, and that's the choice we made. Go ahead.
How much did COVID set back the development of young players?
Massive.
And even some of the older ones.
Yeah. I just talked about that this morning on another interview. Just huge, and not just the guys on our team, but just every amateur player. So every high school player you get is a year and a half, 18 months behind in their development because they didn't get to play a season during the spring. A lot of them didn't get to play summer baseball. The question that came up this morning was about Will Johnston, and I think we see flashes of brilliance in him, but he's a year and a half behind. They're all behind. Even the minor league baseball players are behind. So just trying to get them caught up has been a challenge.
What about the excitement of having the defending national champions come in here for 3 to 4 games?
Yeah, super fired up, man. What a great way to finish a home schedule. Have Mississippi State Bulldogs in town. Their top assistant coach played for me at Tulane. I recruited him since he was 16 years old, coached him for 3 years. Been a very, very dear friend of mine for a very, very long time. So looking forward to seeing Jake Gotro. But these are the kind of things you sign up for when you come to Texas A&M, and be a part of these kind of weekends, and you're playing national champions or future or potential national champions every weekend.
A lot of new guys together all at once, quite a few with experience. What was your first indication that things were going to come together for you this season?
Oh, man. I like going into the season, I loved our offense and I loved how we were going to catch the ball in the infield. And if you'd have told me you're going to be without, these certain pitchers that have gotten hurt, and you're going to be without your starting shortstop and your starting third baseman for the majority of the season, I was like, holy cow, it's going to be a long one, But I think the LSU weekend for sure stands out because that's Austin. We're down Werner, we're down Kalai, and we had been down Targach for a couple days, and that's when Ty Hodge and Strachner were playing a lot. against Santa Clara, and when Austin Bose came in and said, "Coach, I can play second base," that made our lineup deeper. I don't know, there was just something about that weekend and that him coming into me and doing that really was a turning point for our team.
Coach, I know you announced this morning that Saturdays have left TBA as well as far as your rotation goes. So I'm just curious, how has Micah, handled those conversations, and where is he at mentally with his role possibly changing this weekend?
Yeah, he's the ultimate team guy, and he just wants to pitch better, and he just wants to help the team. I think if you'd have been a part of it, that little post-game huddle after we won that walk-off game on Saturday, I wasn't in the huddle. I just heard the beginning of it, and I heard Micah, A, apologize to the team, and B, thank him for picking him up. And so, like, when you have that's special. You don't have that on a lot of teams where a guy apologizes for. He doesn't need to apologize for anything. He's pitched great for us earlier in the season, and he's going to pitch great for us again. But there's a love and a bond and a chemistry amongst this club that would make someone want to go do that. That makes a coach pretty proud. So I think Micah just wants to pitch well and wants to help us win. And if that's, he's the one that came to us and said, if you need me to pitch the night we play Texas an inning, I'd rather throw my bullpen in the game. So I think if Micah, all he wants to do is pitch better and help us win. And so whether it's starting or relieving, I know he'll be ready to go.
Might put you on the spot here a little bit, but is there an at-bat that you can think of this year that really stands out, that is indicative of what this team's been able to do and what y'all been able to implement as far as the offense goes?
The first thing that comes to mind is probably Rock's grand slam at Texas, because he laid off some borderline pitches and didn't panic, and then put a good swing on a pitch that he had seen multiple times in the at-bat, and then hit a grand slam, hit the ball out of the ballpark. But there's been several, Logan Brett, before the season I told him, for as few walks as you have in your career, everybody in the ballpark should get free ice cream every time you walk. And he gets down 0-2 with 2 outs against a good pitcher, and fights back for a walk and gives us a chance to win the ball game. So I think there's been several, but those would be 2 that really stand out.
With it being your final weekend without a Tuesday night game this week, I'm just curious what senior night stuff is planned for this weekend, and how will you honor this group your first?
Yeah, I know I think one night we're honoring the kids that are graduating. One day we're honoring the kids that are seniors, that are in their last year of eligibility. So you have to ask Hutch or TD. It's either Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday, but it's always a bittersweet day to honor those kids. And it's weird in baseball to do it because you're hoping you play for another 5 or 6 weeks, but you have to schedule it. You have to do it, at home, and so we'll honor those guys and thank them for their contribution to the program.
Appreciate it.
All good? All right. Thank you.